love languages in and of themselves are very broad, and there are lots of different ways to express them. If you can understand what your love language is, you're going to be able to really define the way to maximize the amount of love you're receiving. And if you're someone who's in a relationship, it's going to be very helpful, relationship as in you're married, it's going to be very helpful to communicate that love language to your spouse so that they know that that is a primary way to express their love to you. Dr. Gary Chapman, in his books, he has multiple books, talks about different couples that he was counseling and some of their prime issues. And I remember distinctively this one person, this one couple, and the wife in the couple was expressing that she was not feeling loved by her husband, and they were really on the brink of divorce. And I can't remember exactly what it was that the husband was doing to express his love, but she mentioned something along the lines of, I feel loved when I come home to a clean house, right? And because I would come home and the house wouldn't be clean, then I would have to take on that burden of making sure the house was clean. Anything else that her husband would do for her didn't feel very loving. Her primary love language was acts of service. But her husband, for example, was giving love in the language of words of affirmation or touch. And so because of that, he was not speaking her language. Really think of it as you speak English and someone only speaks Spanish. You guys are trying to communicate to one another, but you're not able to get your points across because you're not understanding your love language. So even though the person speaking Spanish might be saying something very kind and appreciative towards you, you're not going to be able to fully appreciate what's being said because you don't understand what's being said. So with Dr. Chapman's clients, when he was able to identify the fact that they were just simply having a miscommunication in love languages, and he would give the couples assignments to speak the other person's love language by doing particular tasks, or if it meant carving up a certain amount of time for quality time together. Maybe it meant that you perform 3 acts of service a week to show that your partner is loved by you, whatever it was. And after that, they would come back with that task complete and give another review of how they felt their relationship was going. Once they were able to speak those love languages clearly, the changes were so drastic, and it literally saved several couples from divorce. So again, it's just something that we don't want to ignore. Oftentimes we think, well, I'm showing the person that I love them and I'm loving them. Well, what's the problem? There's a huge issue if the person isn't feeling like they're receiving love. And sometimes it means we have to step out of our ego a little bit and recognize that even though we think we were doing our best, there are other ways to do things that are better. And that's okay to adjust, especially in relationships. It's necessary to be able to say, hey, maybe I didn't know the best way to go about something, but now I do know, and I'm going to try it. And then inshallah, that will help to improve our relationship.